Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Air Hauler 2 with me, your Herd 37. So we're over here in Charleston, South Carolina. It's KCHS, and in this episode we have a short flight over here to Wilmington, North Carolina. That's KILM. It's actually one of our old bases in original Air Hauler. In fact, we might still be there. I can't remember. I think I actually took it out from Myrtle Beach, something like that. But it's a pretty short flight. As you can see here, just about 135 miles. Don't care too much about the wind because there's a tower here. We use them for taking off. And as you can see here, fortunately the wind is actually coming out of the southeast. So we won't be able to use the ILS on 35. Instead, we're going to come in here on runway 17. We won't use the tower there. We'll just do it ourselves, come in there on 17. Here is the chart. The approach course is 166 degrees. It's a 6,600 foot long runway. You see the touchdown point and the airport elevation are both just 32 feet. ATIS is 124.975. Probably use that. And as you can see here, we come in here after the holding pattern. You go to, I guess, Iluxy at 2,100 feet, Fear at 1,600 feet, and then Arid at 480 feet. It's for the RNAV GPS approach. So alright, let's go over here. Actually, I was looking at this the other day, actually. Let me put this airports up here. And I could not find any difference in the prices of commodities. Everything seems to be the same. And as you can see, Wilmington doesn't even have all that much stuff. Like magazines, $20. A lot of places seem to have that. See, actually, a lot of the stuff, Wilmington is actually a little bit cheaper. So we're not going to actually take any commodities with us because everything seems to be cheaper at Wilmington for some reason. All right, leaving KCHS, and we're going to KILM. Wilmington. Let's see. All right, they're all right with $150. 160. We'll get an extra $30 out of them. Alright, so 10 minutes is a little too much because I end up having to wait. So I'm going to try like 6 minutes because I can't remember exactly what all I have to do. Because I load up the plane myself and then we go through some checks and everything. So I'll put 6 minutes. We'll see how that works. Fly now. 135 nautical miles. As you can see, we're right at that 133. So I'll put in a little extra, 165 miles worth. All right, put this back over to VFR. We'll go 7,500 feet. We can do any of those. We'll leave it right there, 135 nautical miles. And let's go ahead and move on over to the plane. All right, everybody, here we are at the plane. Actually, as soon as it started up, they started boarding and everything, so I might be a bit behind. Here we go. Just a second ago, I was trying to get this thing loaded up. I think the problem was, I had this thing paused and didn't realize, and I couldn't find out why I couldn't change anything. All right, so I could change the fuel, but I couldn't. I actually took the passenger out, but couldn't get her back in. Couldn't change the weights of anybody or anything. It was kind of crazy. We have 17.2 gallons of fuel, so 9 and 8. That'll be close enough. The average passenger is 467 pounds of passengers, so that's basically 155 in each, or for each person. I think I may have changed it before to get our takeoff weight down. $155. I'm not going to be the big one. Change me. Oh, I'm going the wrong way. Let's say I'll be a little slimmer. I mean, say, I have no idea. I'm going to put my real life weight in there, 165. We have 39 pounds of luggage. I checked that out as well. Alright, you see, we're underweight. So, see, how do you technically carry commodities? We're just barely now under the total weight with my 3 passengers. Alright, anyway, let's get this thing started up. It came started up, so I'm not going to prime it with the throttle there, 1/4 of an inch. Alright, we're in idle cut off the mixture. Propeller area is clear. And turn our master switch on. Flashing beacon comes on. Like I said, we're not going to prime it. So I'm going to move that forward. Parking brake is on. Get that to full for a second. Get that out of the way. There's a little power, and now we'll lean her out. It's about 55, let's say. At 54, 55 is just fine. Alright, let's see. Oil pressure. We do have pressure, and you can see it. The temperature is already up in the green because, like I said, it was already started anyway. The navigation lights can come on. Electrical system, we gotta check this again. I keep screwing this part up. The master switch goes off. Alright, taxi and landing light switches come on. It provides an initial electrical load on the system. As you can see, it's actually below zero here on the ammeter. Engine RPM reduced to idle. Alright, so the master switch can come on. You can see that jump. It's right at zero. Increase this to 1500. Alright, and the alternator output should increase, and you can see it did increase. Alright. So we can lower this back and turn our landing and taxi lights off. I'm going to go ahead and put the pitot heat on. Alright, the avionics master switch can come on. We need to get all of our radios on. That in standby. Turn that on. Flaps are retracted. Now we're going to be late. Parking brake is set. That's for the run up at the runway. I probably should have already hollered at somebody here. We are taking off to the, let's say, the north.
Charleston, ground, Cessna, November.
Really north-northeast. Take that.
With whiskey. Request taxi for takeoff. North departure.
Then we're going to go to 7,500 feet.
Charlie, Papa, taxi 2 and hold short of runway 3 via taxiway Bravo, Charlie. Contact
runway 3.
16.0 when ready.
Charlie aggressive taxi, and we'll go ahead and acknowledge that. By the way, we're at a stupid jetway.
Taxiway Bravo, Charlie. Cessna 0, Charlie, Papa.
So I'll say 0, 030. Let's look at which way it's out here. Alright. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn off the parking brake and have it push us back. Let's switch that over to GPS. Turn off the messages. Might be slightly late. Not bad. Getting pushed back in our little Cessna. Ridiculous, but we didn't really have any choice. We had to be at a gate. That or the fuel box, and I hate being at the fuel box. If you watched Air Hauler early on in the beginning, the original Air Hauler in my series, you'll understand why. The thing will screwed me up so many times. Maybe it wouldn't do it in the A to A since it's loaded up manually, but man, we had some problems back in the day. Alright, so I will go ahead and turn on the taxi light. And now let's go ahead and taxi on over to the runway. Back over here on the taxi line. We're not even taxiing all that fast. You can hear the banging around. Although I think that's just generic somewhat. we're moving kind of fast. Let's see. You can see runway 3 is moving off to our right. Not sure exactly which runway that is. I see this one right here, but I don't think that's us because that's at more of an angle. But it could be us. And apparently, I didn't realize that, but Charleston here is actually both an international airport, but I guess it's also part of the. I think it's got an air base here. Apparently, a lot of military planes. That's got to be our runway. Now you can see it's at more of an angle, so it probably is. Anybody else over here? No, nobody. There's nobody around anymore. Alright, so we're not going to go all the way down there. We'll check here in a second to see exactly how much runway we've got from over here. There's no point in going all the way down there. We don't need that much runway. One of the advantages of flying a small plane. Yeah, we'll have plenty of runway at the next intersection. This would be a pretty long runway, especially, you know, if they use it a lot for the military. Well, hopefully we won't have to go all the way to the end. I don't see any taxiways, any intersections. Holy cow. We are going to have to go clear down to the end. There's nothing. There's no taxiways or anything here connecting that. That's kind of sucks. It's kind of odd that there's literally no taxiways. Wow, it's kind of weird. So they decided they didn't need one. It's not too far. And here I thought we wouldn't have to go to them. Reduce our speed a little bit. I wonder how late we are. Turn on my E&B there. And I'll go ahead and switch over to the tower. Ah, that's not what I wanted. I'm going to turn off progressive taxi, go over the tower. And should be get able to ask for permission here in just a second. I feel like I'm getting almost too slow. I'm going to go ahead and put the flaps out to 1. It didn't sound like it came down. It did. Or did it? There we go. I think the button didn't work the first time. Alright. There we go. We can ask for permission now.
Tower, Cessna, November 990 Charlie Papa, ready at runway 3, north departure. Cessna, November 990 Charlie Papa.
Try to tap the brake.
Takeoff, runway 3, departure to the north approved.
Like I said, we probably shouldn't have asked for that. I always do that, but really we should probably do our run up first, I would imagine. Alright, stop here. Parking brake is coming on. Alright. So our run up here, parking brake is set. Don't care about the seats. The cabin doors are obviously closed. Flight controls. Everything's in good working order. I can turn that on as well. Alright. Flight instruments, everything is set. Looks like we're all good here. I'm actually good before I forget. Turn on the transponder. Fuel quantity should be around. It was gone down to 7. That was at 9. I thought I had it 9 and 7, but I may have had it different. Alright, that'll probably be good though. I'll just have it backwards in my mind. Alright, the fuel selector is in both. Let's see, mixture, we go to full rich. And let me remove this yoke. Come down here. 1800 RPM. Alright. Alright, that's good. I don't know that that's in the range exactly. Let's put this down to... Actually, let me move it back to 1800. We gotta check the vacuum. We're just in the green. And the ammeter is okay. So now, move it down. Yeah, because it says, let me remember, RPM drop should not exceed 150 RPM, and I do believe it. If it didn't, it was daggone close. 50 RPM differential between the magnetos. I think it would have failed that. Enunciator panel. No enunciators are illuminated. Alright. See, strobe lights. I want to turn those on. Landing lights as well. Radios and avionics. Like I said, everything is set now. Nav GPS. We're switched over to GPS. Autopilot is obviously off. I don't know why they even say that. Who would turn your autopilot on when you're taking right? I don't know. More promotionally trimmed for takeoff here. Alright, in the normal takeoff, let's see. Lift takeoff at 55 knots. Let me check, see if anyone, I don't see anybody. Alright, let's go ahead and get on out of here. Parking brake is coming off. Be on our way to Wilmington. Alright, get on the runway, get her lined up. Alright, here we go. Power. Push just a little bit forward on the stick. She seems to come up early for me. There's 50, 55. Bring the nose up slightly, not too much. Alright, pretty nice. Close to, let's see, they say departure was on time, so that's good. We're almost at 70 knots, so I'm going to go ahead and retract the flaps. Now the speed comes up, there's that drag. We want to climb around 70 to 80 knots. You can see we're now getting close to the 80s, so we'll go ahead and finally bring the nose up and climb a little more. Trying to trim the nose down a little bit. I still haven't, I need to go into FSUIPC and fix that. It's a little better, as you see, she still wants to climb a little too much. It's just, there we go, that's a little better right there. A little more steady. And turn over here, let's see what this is, 059. So I want to kind of take a look around. Just trying to do a little hand climb before we go straight over to the autopilot. I like to show scenery and everything, what it looks like outside. Flying back over to our direct line there on the GPS. Autopilot can come on. We're going to switch that to heading now. Vertical speed, we'll go at 600. Arm for the altitude. Watch that come back up. Come back out to the route, I'll go ahead and switch her over to nav. Alright, we'll take a look outside. We're about to get out of Charleston. Charleston's really nice. See, it's pretty dense there, and they've got, you know, the whole port and everything, which is true. Charleston, I think, has a pretty big port. It might be one of the bigger ones on the East Coast, actually. Love it. I don't know where it doesn't look. Can't even tell where the ocean is. I guess it's up here, not this way. All right, coming up on 2,500 feet on our en route climb. We'll do 70 to 85 knots. We're right at 80 right now, so we're all right. Throttle is full open. Mixture rich, and above 3,000 feet, we start to lean it out. And then on the cruise, power goes to 2,000 to 2,400 RPM. No more than 80% is recommended. I've been show you what I've been doing. I've been putting it right in the middle of the green there. As soon as I get cruising, instead of going, you know, full out, it saves, I guess, a little bit of fuel. Although this thing really seems to sip fuel, I gotta say. Alright, we're at 3,000. We can start leaning out. As you can see, it's only 1264. It's actually pretty low. Let's see, yeah, we'll start rising. You see our speed is dropping, so I'm going to go ahead and move that down. Because I tell you, around at least 5,500 feet, she seems to already want to be at 40%. So it seems like I'm leaning it out a lot, but you know, another 2,500 feet or so, she should already be at 40% the way this plane goes. You can see it's already increased over 60 degrees Fahrenheit. It's still climbing. We've only gone 500 feet over to 3,000 already. See, she's still rising as we lean it out. Let's check. This says 128 miles. It says an hour and 44 minutes from here. But once we get up to our cruising altitude, get there pretty quick. This won't be too long of a flight. Yep, just climbing and climbing and climbing. And let me see, I actually have a chart here. We haven't been able to really match up with the charts, or not a chart, performance chart. Now I've got it set to 7,500. This one has 6,000 and 8,000, so I'll go at the 8,000. And it says, let's see, it's got 20% below standard temperatures. So I'll say standard temperature. At 8,000. Let's say I put it at 2,300 RPM. It says that we should cruise it 116 knots, using 8.2 gallons an hour. See, I think this, maybe I do agree with it. I think maybe ours is just a little on the heavy side compared to what they have in the chart. Because we're almost completely full with our maximum takeoff rate. You can see we're close down there to 60 knots. So I'm going to reduce our climb to 500 feet a minute. Although as we lean it out, should climb a little bit better anyway. Charts over here. Alright, we're about 4,700 feet. I'm going to clean it out some more. And I'll leave this up as much as I can. Can I also get to that? No. Alright, well, just keep popping that up so we can see it throughout the flight. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and speed her up. Be back in just a little bit. Everybody's slowing it down here. We still got a little ways to go. We're 24 miles out. On our descent, our power is adjusted. Brought it down, as you can see. So the needle right here, about 1800. Mixture, we're going to keep on adjusting that. The altimeter, I'm just going to go ahead and reset that with the button. We'll turn it on over to Addons here in just a second. Nav GPS, we're still in GPS. The fuel selector valve is in both, so we're good there. I've set it for 2,100 feet, and we're descending at 300 feet a minute. We're up on 6,100 feet here. Alright, let's go ahead and look over our procedures. We'll select 17, we had put RNAV for 17. Vectors, Iluxy. Iluxy is the one we want. Alright, go ahead and select that approach, activate the approach action. Sorry. Alright, now over 039 is the desired heading here, desired track. Then at Iluxy, it should be on to Fear. There you go, there's Fear right there, and let's see, do they have a read? No, then it's just the runway on that. Alright, that works. I'm going to go ahead and give it a little more power. We can get there a little quicker now. Because as you can see, we're 26 miles out. So we don't need to descend all that fast or anything. I'll leave it at 300, see how that does. So go ahead and speed this up to 4x. There's nothing to put into the navigation, since we're not using the ILS. And as we get a little bit closer, I'll tune it over to Addons. It was 124975? 124975. Alright, going up on 5200. Go ahead and give her a little bit more fuel. You can hear the engine pick up there. The speed's increasing. Right, looks like that might be the runway. There it is, right there. $4,500 feet. Passengers are happy at 100%. And actually move that to 60. Like I said, at Alexi, we need to be at 2,100 feet. That is set. Looks like there will be a sharp turn there. Saw the flash right there. Let's go over to our radios here. 12475. That's one thing I don't understand. It's 124.975. How do you get the 5? It's one thing I was wondering about because the 3 digits. That sucks. I'm not good at that. Alright, so is it going to be... I don't know if they're going to make us do the... turn around or not. Holding pattern. Alright, we're coming up on 2600, so I'm going to go ahead and put this to full rich. Looks like there's a pretty good descent, 2,100 feet at Alexi. Coming up on 2,500. So that was good. Alright, coming up on 2,200 feet now. I kind of think we might have to do the holding pattern. Okay, she didn't stop at 2,100. What's up with that? We're climbing at 500 feet a minute, back to 2,100. I had it armed. They're set for the, as you can see right here. Increase the power. Gonna descend. Hopefully she doesn't descend too quick. Let's see, we're back below 2,100. Let's see if she climbs back. No, there she goes. I don't know why it descended below 2,100. Alright, we're almost at Alexi. Alright, now everything's figured out. Give her a little more power here. Fear will be at 1,600 feet. Yeah, got to do the holding pattern. The thing is, that adds time. We could end up being late because of the daggone holding pattern. There you can see the red lights. It actually says that we're a little low already. We'll go to 2x on the turns. Sometimes she'll go a little crazy if you go too fast on turns like that. The straightaway parts will do 4x. I just hope it doesn't say that we're gonna be late. Check our fuel, we should be good. 6 gallons still? That can't be right. Hardly used any fuel. We'll go ahead and hit 4x. So she doesn't get too crazy. Now let's see, why are we climbing? See, the plane gets a little out of control. We'll just leave her here at 2x. Going back to 2,100. Just leveled out. Does this have the default nav? The different nav. See how she handles this turn here at 2x. I thought the turn was before Luxy. Passengers so good. Our heading is going to be 166, by the way. Well, let's see if she goes on to fear, because I've had it before where it just gets stuck in a loop of the holding pattern, just going around and around. So we'll see what she does. Alright, that's down to 5 and 6. Like I say, at fear, we need to be at 1,600 feet, but we have the... If I saw those PAPI lights, it looked like we were already low. At 2,100. Miles from Luxy. Don't have anything in sight. I don't think that's it. Could be, I guess. It's right over by the water. Usually, when we land there, we're actually coming from the water, coming on 35. Luxy, let's see, let's hope that she goes on here. Alright, she's going over to fear. There for a second I thought we were going back. Alright, down to 1,600. Say 200 feet a minute. It looks like we might have some PAPI lights over here. Yeah, there's the lights. It says we're actually a little low. Not hardly descending at all. Damn, this thing. All of a sudden acting weird. Oh, maybe it's because I had it at 100 feet a minute. That could be a problem. Alright, I'm going to go ahead, while we have time, do the before landing checklist. Don't care about the seats and everything. Fuel selector valve is in both. Mixture, we are full rich. The landing and taxi lights are on because I never turned them off. And we're good. Like I said, we're a little low here. This is the runway right there. Can't hardly see it. You all probably won't be able to see it at all. Speed's coming down. We could actually, I think, we'll go ahead and get our flaps out if we wanted to. I'm not going to. We're right on the glide slope. We'll go ahead and put this all the way down to 0. Increase our descent here. We'll pull back on the power a little bit. Might have to increase our descent here in just a second. Go ahead and get rid of this. Our heading is set 166. Alright, coming down close to 80 knots. Alright, everything looks good so far. We're at 80 knots now. I'm gonna go ahead and put the flaps to 10. increase the power just a little bit. Now we're a little high. Now back on it. Now our descent has increased. Just below 80 knots. We're a little high now. .400 feet a minute. Flaps are coming out to 20. Don't get as ballooned as much there. Right at 70 knots. We're at 1,000 feet. So I'll go ahead and turn the autopilot off. Plane is mine. I'm going to send too quick there. Even though we are a little high and do need to get down. Alright, we're at full flaps. I feel like I'm having that problem again with our pitch. Working like crazy to pitch it. Pitch down. Feels like she ain't having any of it. There we go. Now we're a little better. Well, I don't know if I've got her pitched down too much or not. Just above 60 knots. Should be coming back on the glide slope here in just a second. Can't be that high. There we go. There we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I pulled her up a little too much. There at 60 knots. Came down a little hard. It says it was okay. 32 minutes late? What are you talking about? There's no way we're 32 minutes late. Even with that holding pattern. Felt we flattened out a little too much there at the end. Have to look at the replay. Tracking the flaps 32 minutes late. There ain't no way. See, it doesn't allow for, once it's calculating the time as if we were going straight there, but if we're following procedures and stuff, you know, we had to go out to iLuxy, then we had to do the holding pattern, everything. It's not really allowing for that. 32 minutes late. And what happens if you encounter headwinds and stuff like that? It needs to be a little more forgiving. We'll get off the runway here. Alright. We'll go ahead and stop her right here. Parking brake is coming on. We'll go course, on the after landing checklist, all it ever says is flaps retracted, and they are. I'm going to go ahead and lean this out. 58%. Standby. Pitot heat can come off. The strobes and the landing lights need to be off as well. Stop recording. Parking brake can come off, and I think we can just park like straight over here, if I remember correctly. I think that plane might always be there, that FedEx plane. I flew here in FS Economy not too long ago, and I think it was there as well. I flew the Twin Otter. Love that plane. Used to not like it as much, but I've been flying it recently in FS Economy and been doing actually a good job in it, landing-wise. Figuring out how to... The only thing is about that plane is the taxiing. The taxi's odd because of the power settings. But figured out finally how to get it to descend, because I could never get it to descend once we were at our cruising altitude, but she works good now. It's all about setting the... clicking on the indicated airspeed and adjusting the power and everything to get her to descend. It's actually pretty nice. She always sounds like she's about to cut out this engine here. Stop right here. Put on the parking brake. Then we'll go to securing the airplane. The parking brake is set. The electrical equipment needs to come off. That's off. Let's see. You off. Alright, all that equipment is off. The avionics master switch can come off. By the way, the taxi light. No, it doesn't say to do that. Auto cut off. Nav and the beacon can come off. Let me get that there. All the way off. And turn that off. Disembarking the passengers. I'll help you. Alt-tab back. See, sometimes it says Alt-tab to go over to air hauler, and other times it brings air hauler up automatically. I don't quite understand that. Alright. $480. They were 100% satisfied. That's always good. I can still hear, like, the sounds of FSX in the background. Alright. Actually, that's not what I wanted. Finish the flight. See, it's like it's doing something in the background. It's kind of weird. Alright, takeoff time is 4:31. Landing at 6:18. An hour and 47 minutes. That does seem excessively long for a 135-mile flight. Takeoff fuel, 97 pounds. Touchdown, 62. So he's, 35 pounds of fuel. Max altitude was 7,508 feet. Max pitch, -10.6. Max roll, -20. Max speed was 110.94 knots. Minimum G's, 0.88. Never exceeded 0. Max G's, 1.14. Max G exceeded 0. Stall false, never had an overspeed. Landing description was okay. Landing gear touchdown was true. Landing surface asphalt. No damage to the runway, no damage to the plane. Came down at 98.1 feet a minute, which is actually pretty slow. Pretty good. Landing speed 43.75 knots. Landing pitch -5.3. Landing roll 2.27. Landing heading 160. Wind speed 8. Landing wind direction 117. Let me get this over here. I don't know why you can hear it in the background. At least pause it so I don't have to listen to it. Alright, so here we are in Wilmington. They've already got a job, but of course we can't do that. Of course we can't do that. Oh, they've got it fixed to where if you click on it, it turns to the color you wanted. Now that I see that yellow, it's not exactly the color I wanted. See, it brings FSX back. Get out of here, FSX. See, it used to not be able to, couldn't get that to work. The yellow is just a little too bright. It's kind of hard to see. Purple or something might work. Dark magenta. Ah, accepted color. Well, that's alright. They're the same. Alright. Now will you turn magenta, or we'll have to restart you probably or something. What products? We can't do that anyway. We're in a passenger configuration. Alright. So where is Huntington from here exactly? There it is. So it's going to be right up there. Like I said, I was going to stop at Winston-Salem. We also have Raleigh. There's something I really like about Raleigh, KRDU. But maybe we'll just skip it and just go straight over to Winston-Salem. I mean, technically we could do 2 flights and it would give us, it's such a short flight. There in between, we could have another flight in there, to be quite honest, and just get our passenger rating up a little more, which helps us overall. Let's check out our information here. Reputation log. We went up a full 1% on the passenger reputation, which is good. Even though we were an hour and a half late, which I still don't. Man, it's weird. Did you see the background pop up? All right. The company cash, we got 12,500. So we need, 1,400? That'll be easy. We got plenty of time to do that. I'm not sure what date. I think we pay at the very end of the month. I don't think it does it any different. If you start on the 28th, that you owe on the 28th. I'm not totally sure. I think it just goes to the end of the month. Income last 30 days, 31.9, although outgoing 154. That was because we opened up that factory and everything. Really shouldn't probably have done that. But once we get over here, we can switch to cargo configuration, and we can do a lot of those are high-paying jobs. Also, we can bring stuff in. Actually, with the commodities, I think you can actually bring stuff in with the passenger configuration. Then you could do your passengers and some of the commodities that you need as well at the same time. Like I said, the weight doesn't really make sense, though, because the maximum takeoff weight. So you wouldn't really want to. If you want to be technical about it, you shouldn't have more than maybe 2 passengers. Actually, 1. And then just fill it up. If you want to be technical about the weight and keeping it more realistic, I don't know. By the way, I don't know what are these the range circles. Okay. That's what those purple things are. Alright. Well, what range circles from what? I guess range circles from where I am. So I was going to say it's not the base. Alright. Well, that's going to be it for this episode, everybody. I hope you all did enjoy it. I'll catch you guys on the next flight.